All right, guys, g'day, welcome back. I'm getting in a little bit early for some of the anniversary guides that I'm doing this year, and I'm going to start with the banners and more specifically, obviously, what's featured, but also whether or not the featured units are farmable or not. Obviously, if you could do the free stuff to support the channel, like, subscribe, do all that kind of jargon if you want, that would be great. And obviously, my socials are on the little image down below. Now, all these images that I'm showing, it'll be one for every banner. They will be posted on my relevant social medias, Twitter, Discord, even YouTube, Instagram, and I'll probably post it over on the Reddit as well. Before we get stuck into the banners themselves, I just wanted to quickly line up the release dates. Part 1 banners last year dropped on the 8th of July 2022, obviously 2022 being last year, but the 8th of July. I would expect them to be around about that time. Typically speaking, the banners drop about 48 hours, give or take, after the actual anniversary celebration itself begins. So keep that in mind when you start seeing, part 1 info and they show the kind of the banner thing in the news. What that usually means is you're about, and I think it was actually about 36 hours. But if you give it 2 neat days, you shouldn't be disappointed. But 8th of July was last year. I think it was even 7th of July the year before. I could be wrong. But that's when to expect the banners, around about that time. So that's when the new units will drop. Now, without further ado, I will get into the banners themselves. The first banner we'll touch on is the Super Saiyan 3 Goku and Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta banner. I'll throw their info up on the screen there. I'll go through them after I finish the all 4 actually, I'll go through their info after I finish this banner. But this marks the first return of both Gamma 1 and STR Cooler. Gamma 1 has recently become farmable via that Dragon Ball Superhero event. I think you exchange certain, I think it's those little plushie dolls or whatever it is, in the Bubba shop, and you can get Gamma 1 and Gamma 2. We'll get on that in a minute. Cooler is technically not farmable. However, there is the int cooler that can be Dokkan Awakened into a final form cooler that you can summon. That summonable SR is on the banner, so you should be able to accumulate a few of them, though it does take a fair few resources to Dokkan Awaken it. I mean, that's one way to save Kais, and I mean, looking at the rest of this banner and some of the other banners in the anniversary, every Kai you can save is probably going to be relatively valuable for you, especially as we go through the rest of this banner. As I said, Final Form Frieza is not farmable. He is featured as well. The LR Gods from last year are also not farmable. Evolution Blue Vegeta from the 6th anniversary also isn't farmable. So I mean, like, if you get all 3 of these units hypothetically on their own, and you don't have them before, that's 19 Kais that you have to put up. You know what I mean? So what's 19 times 3 is going to be 30, is going to be 36, is going to be, 66 Kais just for those 3 units to get them to SA20. STR Gogeta, who Easy A's during the 8th anniversary, he is farmable via the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie event. Make sure you lock him up. If you're going to farm his super attack, lock him up. And any dupes you get, lock them up, because the SSR that you farm through that event looks very, very similar. Obviously, given that he's an STR unit as well, just make sure you're not feeding in your LR as super attack food whilst you're farming the free-to-play unit. So lock up your LRs. Lock up any of the featured units that you summon, by the way. The Worldwide Celebration fusing Goku and Vegeta into Vegito is not farmable either, nor is the GT Super Saiyan Vegeta. Unfortunately as well, neither of the brand new units for the in this banner, so the Super Saiyan 3 Goku and the Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta, they are not farmable, nor is the Gotenks and Piccolo. So that is banner A. It's a pretty good banner, all things considered. The 2 returning units that haven't featured before are monsters. They are still some of the best units in the game. I consider the Gods still one of the best units in the game, and this Gogeta as well is also one of the best units in the game after he Easy A's. Not to mention how good the physical Super Saiyan 3 and Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta are as well. Now, I'll go through their info really quick while I've got them. They introduce, along with the other brand new Dokkan Fest LR, the Power of Wishes category. So they lead Power of Wishes and Last Resort, which is Final Trump card, for 170%, and the extra 30% goes to any Connected Hope or Majin Buu Saga category allies. These guys stack defense on both, on their 12 key super, and greatly stack on their 18 key super. Attack and defense 200%, start of turn. An additional 50% to attack and defense when HP is 50% or more, plus an additional 100% defense and key 1 per key sphere obtained as the first attacker in the turn, plus an additional attack. So it's defense 100% and 1 key per key sphere. It's attack 100% and 2 key per key sphere as the second or third attacker in a turn. So they're more defensive but less reliable with key as the first attacker. They are more offensive but get far more key as the second or third attacker in the turn. Launches an additional attack that has a great chance of becoming a super attack when key is 18. Launches an additional super attack when key is 24. So that they stack. So if you get 24 key, you're just going to do automatically another super. Then you're going to have the chance to do a third super, given that they are physical. I mean, well, every unit can do a hidden potential super, but if you only get them at 55%, they get an automatic 5 additional in their hidden potential, so they have the chance of doing 4 super attacks at 55% and above, I guess, obviously. And additional key +1 and chance of performing a critical hit plus 10%, up to 50% for each super attack performed. So after they do 5 super attacks, you'll have a permanent 5 key and 50% chance to crit. They introduce also the standby skill. Well, they did introduce it to JP. We already have it with the Tech Goku, obviously, on Global. Switch to standby for 5 turns, which basically means 3 appearances if you keep them on rotation, 2 appearances if you float them. Gain 1 charge counter per key sphere obtained for all allies. So basically, if you want to get as many orbs when you're collecting orbs with every unit while they're in the standby mode, because they have a finish skill. You can activate the standby, when HP is 50% or less, starting from the 4th. Activated when HP is 50% or less. Period. Turn 2, you're under 50% HP, you can use a standby. Or after performing 4 or more attacks during battle, starting from the 4th turn. So they can do 4 attacks in a single turn. However, if you stay at 100% HP and you've done 8 attacks in turn 1 and 3, you won't be able to activate the standby until turn 5, hypothetically. And then they got pretty good links. I don't need to really go through all that. And they got a heap of categories. What's that? 12 categories. The standby version of them is temporarily. That's the finish skill. Sorry, they're passive. So what they do on turn, they cannot attack. So they don't do anything except for when they do the finish. But basically, they have defense 250%. They guard all attacks for 4 turns. So if you keep them on rotation, if you get them for 3 appearances, basically, that final turn won't have guard. Randomly changes key spheres to rainbow. Reduces damage by 8% per key sphere obtained, plus an additional 500% attack when performing the finish attack. Temporarily attack 15% per charge counter if you don't max out the charge counter. It's attack temporarily plus 20% per charge counter if it is maxed out. So it's a hell of a nuke, but obviously you want to make sure that you got a bit of crit, because otherwise it won't do a hell of a lot, seeing as this form does not have that carryover of crit chance that this form has here. Now, I'm going to get into these guys and their respective banner. They are not farmable either, nor is their Shadow Dragon banner unit. This is going to be a long video, by the way. Gamma 2 and the Metal Cooler Movie Super Saiyans return for the first time, much like the Gamma 1 and Cooler from their respective celebrations. Much like Gamma 1, Gamma 2 is farmable via the same means. It's farm the plushie dolls in this event and exchange them at the Bubba Shop. Unfortunately, there is no way to farm Goku and Vegeta. The other feature units are Super Saiyan Goku from the Worldwide Celebration the year before these guys. He is farmable. This is a heap easier farm than Super Saiyan Goku has ever been. That's a brand new event that came during, it was April Fools, I think. Yeah, April Fools. So he's very easily farmable. The Super Saiyan 4s from last year are not farmable. UI Goku technically is not farmable. This unit is not farmable. There is not an unlimited amount of him to obtain. So if you wanted to kind of collect him, there's no way to farm the LR. However, if you didn't want to use him as a collectible unit, you can use whatever you are able to withdraw from the Bubba shop using the relevant currency, pardon me, to raise some of the super attack for this LR Goku. Much like the STR Gogeta, Tech Vegito Easy A's during the 8th anniversary, and he's also farmable. As always, lock up your units, but it's less of a confusion with this guy. In the Vegito, Super Vegito Dokkan event, in the very first stage, you get an SR which is already awakened to SSR, so you can only get 50% chances here. Any SSR you can awaken, Z awaken basically to UR, and it'll be at a 100% chance. Much like Cooler was in the last banner, physical Boo tanks here is technically not farmable. However, there is a banner SR that you can obtain. So you can Z awaken him for a 50% chance. You can even Dokkan awaken it and then Z awaken that one for the 100% chance if you want it. It's again a bit of resources and a bit of a grind, more so for this guy than Cooler, I guess. Kinda. I mean, you can use the SR, whereas Cooler you have to Dokkan Awaken, so it's kind of much of a muchness, I guess. GT Super Saiyan Goku is also farmable via the General Rildo event. Now, that is a Dragon Ball story. It is not a story event, so to speak. There's those new Dragon Ball stories, or whatever they want to call them. Yeah, it's a separate game mode now, technically, but you must Dokkan Awaken the SR base form Goku to get the relevant Super Saiyan Gokus to farm this guy up. Now, just to kind of go through the new Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta and Goku GT, also Power of Wishes leaders, as mentioned earlier, but also Battle of Fate leaders for 170%. They have the extra 30 for Final Trump card and Shadow Dragon Saga allies. They stack attack as opposed to defense, comparing them to the Z-Duo counterparts, and they greatly stack attack on their 18 key, much like the Z-Duo stacks defense. They're very mirrored from the Z-Duo, attack and defense 200%, an additional attack and defense when HP is 50% or more, as the Z-Duo also was, and same thing as what the Z-Duo were for the slot kind of benefit. More defensive and 1 key per key sphere as the first attacker, more offensive and an extra 2 key per key sphere as the second or third attacker. Launches an additional, and their additionals are the same as well. A normal with a chance to be a super on 18 key, plus a guaranteed super when it's 24 key, both are possible. So if you get the 24 key, the 18 key one still counts. And also, instead of the crit chance, you build damage reduction per attack. So plus 1 key and damage reduction 10% with each super attack performed, which was obviously up to 50% for the damage reduction. Standby is exactly the same as well. Actually, no, sorry, I stand corrected. It is still the 50% or less. 50% or less, period, or after receiving 4 or more attacks during battle, rather than performing 4 attacks. So take 4 attacks versus do 4 attacks, basically. And their standby is a Super Saiyan Vegeta GT. Now, this is where they differ quite a bit. He actually attacks as opposed to the standby Goku and Vegeta of this card here. His passive is attack and defense 250%. An additional defense 150% when HP is 50% or more. Which obviously means if you're using the standby for the under 50% HP requirement, you're coming into this unit without the defense active. Keep that in mind. This unit also supports all allies with 8 ki and 80% attack, which is enormous. Revives with 100% HP, fully recovered when this category or an ally attacking in the same turn is KO'd. It's just a standard revive that affects the rotation. Similar to your Carnival Super Saiyan Goku, the tech one. Plus an additional attack 39% when performing the finish attack, which, long story short, when you revive, you perform the finish attack. It can be activated when you do the revive. Counters with extreme power. The Ultra Spirit Bomb is the counter thing there. He also super attacks like a normal unit would. Greatly raises attack for 1 turn. Greatly raises attack for 1 turn, but also raises superclass allies attack by 40% for 1 turn. Obviously, you need to be in the first slot for any other allies to benefit from that. The relevant links, they do change a little bit as they do in the last guy as well, but I'll let you kind of have a suss of that. Now, that's your Dokkan Fest exclusive banners. I'm going to cut this video here, and I'll do a separate video for the Carnival banners, which come in part 2. And similar to this video, I'll go through their information as well as whether or not the units on their banners are farmable. Good luck with the anniversary, guys. I know this video is a little bit early, but I'm hoping that it gives you the opportunity to go through and farm up any of the units that you don't have to save yourself some Kais, especially if you're going to spend more stones on this banner, for example. More units are not farmable, but I mean, most people typically summon on both. So there is a total on both Dokkan Fest exclusive banners of what's that? What did I say? 66, 85, 94 plus 105 is 115, 124 total Kais on this banner are needed to max out all the units, providing you farm up the other ones, plus another however many. I mean, you're looking at it at least 160 odd Kais. So you kind of want to go into this celebration with at least 200 Kais. And even then, you're going to want to hope that you've already got a couple units or you've even got them farmed. So yeah, let me know what you reckon, guys. Let me know specifically what banner is going to get your first rotation. Usually these banners will be the 3+1. So you do 3 multis and the third one is free. Hopefully we'll get a discount on the first couple of rotations, which would be nice. But yeah, let me know what banner of the Dokkan Fest exclusive in banners in part 1 will get your first multis. Let me know who you're more excited for, the Z Duo or the GT Duo. Yeah, any other questions, guys, let me know in the comments below. I'm pretty active over on my Discord. I'm trying to ramp that up. And just as a kind of side note as well, I'm just going to quiet all these down here. I'm just going to quickly highlight the fact that I'm doing Dokkan trading cards for the 8th anniversary. As you can see here, I did packs for the Dragon Ball Super Superhero celebration. I did a GT kind of edition pack previously. The GT one's still available for anyone interested. Unfortunately, the Superhero one is not. These promo packs will only be available to people that pre-order them. I won't be doing them again. Pre-order, by that I mean you support the channel financially through my Ko-Fi, and I will not be printing any more after that. If you do qualify to get these sent to you as gifts, I will also give you a pack of the Zero Mortals Plan edition as well, which I haven't revealed the contents of that yet, but that'll be pretty special as well. Otherwise, like I said, if you could support the channel by, I mean, you don't have to do the Ko-Fi thing, but I do appreciate it if you do, and I do reward you if you do. But yeah, support the channel if you could by liking, subscribing, and you know, watching all my videos and all the rest. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye now.